This is All In with Chris Hayes, May 17th, 2021.
Wedge issue and litmus test. It's ammunition to weaponize and wield against other Republicans. And these incentives are so powerful, they can apparently erase someone's memory. Case in point, Congressman Andrew Clyde of Georgia last week declared the insurrectionists were harmless tourists.
There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Normal tourist visit. Now, on Friday night, photographer Tom Williams tweeted out a picture that he took, and that clearly shows Congressman Clyde, right there, second from the top left, with no mask on, helping to barricade the House chamber doors in the middle of the January 6th insurrection. They have pushed furniture against the wall. You don't normally do that, you know, with tourists around. One of the most fraught moments from that day. There's Congressman Clyde, literally on the front lines. When police officers drew their guns, look at that, to keep rioters, the people he likened to tourists, from breaking through the chamber's doors. Look at him there on the far left, screaming, yelling, okay? When Congressman Ted Lieu of California saw that image, he retweeted it, making sure to call Clyde out by name. Dear Representative Clyde, is that you in the picture? Do you remember? Insurrectionists were trying to stop the election certification. This was not, as you now say, a normal tourist visit. 140 police officers were injured, some severely. You should apologize to law enforcement. And joining me now is Congressman Ted Lieu, Democrat from California. Congressman, what did you think when you saw that picture of Congressman Clyde?
Right now, I'm just gonna
I believe that Congressman Clyde on January 6th would disagree with the Congressman Clyde of today. And it's very clear that you have this massive brainwashing happening within the Republican Party. One of the reasons that we did this impeachment trial was not only to hold the former president accountable, but also make sure that we preserve for the historical record what exactly happened on January 6th, what led up to it, and what happened afterwards. And thank goodness we did that, because you see multiple Republicans now trying to have a totally alternative view of history that they're putting on the American people.
You know, it's striking me, Congressman Clyde served in the Navy for more than 2 decades, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, I remember watching that scene at that door live in real time with a knot in my stomach that someone was going to get hurt or shot or something truly awful. And I think it's, you know, it's commendable under those circumstances to go to where the sort of, you know, the action is, as it were, to try to help out. And it just seems like there's only 2 options here. One is that he has essentially forgotten what he knew, or others that he's just very cynically lying, but neither of them seem, they're both very unnerving in their own way.
Absolutely. George Orwell famously wrote that the party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. And now you see multiple members of the Republican Party essentially distorting reality and simply trying to have people forget what happened on January 6th. It's one reason Leader Kevin McCarthy does not want to support the January 6th Commission. They just want to forget this whole episode because they can't handle the fact that it was former Trump supporters, it was former president's supporters that did this insurrection. These were Republicans that hurt police officers, and it's very damaging to their core beliefs.
And it's amazing it's become this kind of just, you know, test of bravery to just say simple, factual, obvious things. Like, this is the GOP Republican Maricopa County Supervisor Bill Gates, who's watching this preposterous, you know, recount take place. I want to play you sound just because, again, he's just saying the simple truth, but this counts for essentially bravery politically at this point. Take a listen.
We asked the difficult questions, all right? And we certified the election back in November. But now it's time to say enough is enough. It is time to push back on the big lie. We must do this. We must do this as a member of the Republican Party. We must do this as a member of the Board of Supervisors. We need to do this as a country. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to move forward and have an election in 2022 that we can all believe the results, whatever they may be.
What do you think of that?
He is absolutely right. We can't have a functioning democracy if people don't believe in the results of the vote. That is probably the most central part of our democracy. at the same time, the big lie is so completely stupid. The Republicans right now still can't even identify who stole the election. I mean, was it Hugo Chavez? Was it Dominion Voting Machine CEO? Was it Panda Bears? Was it voters standing in line who having to get water? They can't even identify a culprit. So in addition to that, these very same Republican members were on the same ballot as a former president. So if the ballot was somehow faulty, then they shouldn't even be in Congress. The whole thing is a big lie, and it's remarkably stupid.
That's true. Both of those things are true. Congressman Ted Lieu, thanks for making time tonight. Coming up, the House is expected to vote this week on proposed January 6th commission to investigate